I think another issue that we are wrestling with right now, I know the schools are, and I am from the other end on the practitioner side, is where does the place of secular credentialing come into our ability to minister effectively in our communities? What we're seeing, I just mentioned a moment ago that because many of the talking psychology centers are just literally drying up because there's no funding. Therefore, the people in our towns who are struggling have nowhere to go where someone will actually sit down and talk with them. There's another resource issue here, and that's on the part of the government. Because I don't think there's a city representative in this room that would say, you know what, our budget problem is we got too much money. And so all of our towns are struggling with resources. So when you put that into the judicial system as an example, they've got so many people that need help. Child Protective Services, so many people that need help, and they can't even afford the for-pay resources. And what we found as a church is that has provided some unbelievable inroads. We are very much a respected partner at the community social service provider table. They love to have our church there. They recommend us, they use us, all that sort of thing. However, there are certain kinds of situations where our judges would like to use us, our CPS director would like to use us, our probation officers would like to use us, but in certain cases, though they would like to use our faith-based counseling, they cannot because Indiana law forbids them from doing that. Now, we could be used as a part of the care for that individual, but we cannot be used for all the care. And so even though we have a licensed psychologist on our staff, we have some licensed social workers, that sort of thing. I'm not saying we don't have any of that, but I know I'm wrestling as a pastor, even though I want our staff, I want our folks to be doing thorough biblical counseling. I don't want to ever be in a situation where a lack of credentialing hinders me from having a community ministry or another way to serve. And so I'm trying to get my brain around how do you promote that kind of and I know that many of the schools are trying to figure this out too. How do you provide graduates who possess the credentials but who have not sold their soul to the company store and therefore do not have the biblical foundations that we would believe are really going to be the core issues once they get out into practice? And I don't have the answer to that yet, but I believe the movement has to wrestle with that idea. But I know for me, even speaking as a board member of NANC, those are not cursed words. I think that's something that we have to talk about.